Resume. Okay, and now let me go get my slide presentation back up. All righty. Let me know when you can see the screen.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Nope.
Can you see it now?
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute. I need to escape that and get back to where I need to be. The shot screen slide one. There you go.
All right. So good morning, ladies. This is WBE Onboarding. And we will be going through all the nice things now that you are certified that you may need to know. Next slide, please, Angela.
Okay.
Oh, I already said that. So congratulations. Baptism by fire here. Here we go. All right. And so what we're going to go over today is basically the overview of WEBAC, who we are, the network, and then core certification, opportunities, resources, and engagement. So a little bit about WEBAC. The mission is to fuel the growth globally through access to opportunities by identifying, certifying, and facilitating development of women-owned businesses. In short, basically now you are part of a national network. As you can see that there are over 20,000 certified WBEs all across the United States. There are over 550 corporate members, and there are 14 regional partner organizations. The 14 regional partner organizations are the certifying organizations. We are WEBAC ORV, Ohio River Valley. That's who you just got certified with. We are one of 14 that feed into this over $20,000, 20,000, look at me, I'm talking about money, 20,000 person WBE network that you're a part of. And there is one national partner organization, which is the whole national WEBAC Women Business Enterprise Certifying Agency. So that's just an overview of, again, now you are part of a network that is their main purpose and mission and vision is to elevate women-owned businesses, take our companies to the next level, connect all across the United States. Next slide.
Oh, I'm sorry, let me do this admit real quick.
Mm-hmm. Welcome. Like I said, we're all sisterhood, so we're going to get through this together. Okay, so this is showing you just as visual of the previous slide, showing you the different RPOs that are represented here. Again, we're right in the middle, Ohio River Valley representing Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. But you can see the other regional partners and the color-coded United States. This is who we are nationally. We are your local RPO, but we now have access. You have access to all of these organizations all across the United States, whether your business does business just here in this region or wherever, you have access now to each RPO, which will give you all that information a little bit later. But this is just a visual. This is your network. So these are the regional partners. Thank you, Angela, for the slide there.
Yes.
This is the information showing you the websites for the RPOs, where they're located at. So again, you can now be strategic. You don't have to stay in Ohio River Valley, even though we are the best RPO and we are your certifying agency. We are all sisters all across the United States. Each RPO will help. That's what we're here for, to introduce you, to connect you to where it makes sense for your business to be at. There's programs that happen on a local level and regional level and then a national level. So again, just because we are one of 14, we are one of 14 collectively. So you don't have to stay in this RPO as far as getting education and networking and the engagement. We have the whole United States at our fingertips. Next slide. So the WEBAC brand. So WeBack Link 2.0, it houses the main brand assessments, including your seal, your logo. So hopefully on your emails, as you see on this slide, you see the different logos that are located throughout. You now have access to being certified, woman owned. You will see these brands and these logos, put them on your social media, put them on your web pages, your email links, so that you're advertising. And again, this is advertisement when you're out and about. If you're in a store, you may see woman owned brands you want to be able to support. This is just free marketing. You know, this is your advertisement now. Use it. You have the right to use the brand on anything that you have because, again, we're all in this together and we want to support each other. And so these are ways to identify the sisters that are in this our network, which is all across the United States. You can go to the next slide. So now, the seal that you see here, like I already said, show it off wherever you're at, for your proposals, on your business cards, on your website, anywhere that you put a logo when you're doing a presentation, you know, a PowerPoint presentation, be able to use that seal. Just again, it brings the attention to the fact, it answers the question right now, why should we use you? Because I'm certified woman owned. And the woman owned logo, if you have products, I'm in steel. I can't put it on my steel. I've tried, it doesn't stick. But if you have products that, you know, you sell and you're putting out there, you have the woman owned, that you have the right to be able to label your products that you are selling with the women owned logo. So again, these are just, again, the visuals of what you have access to now that you're certified. Next slide, please. And like I said, this is baptism by fire. So I'm repeating myself because if I'd have went to the right slide deck earlier, we would already had all this stuff. So you ladies bear with me, okay? Love me anyway, all right? So these are just examples of how the seal and the logo is being used. Just suggestions of how you can use it, where you can use it, what it looks like, and how you can recognize other women-owned businesses all across the region. Okay, next slide. How to talk about WEBEC certification. Okay, being WEBEC certified means that you are a role model for other aspiring WBEs. Talking about WEBEC certification requires some specific brand messages, standards, the do's. WEBEC certified, WBEs, WEBEC certification, WEBEC seal, women-owned logo, refer to the business as certified. Don't make it possessive. Okay, that's one of the things and stuff. It's not we banks. You can see here without me messing up the don'ts that you can see. It's like don't say WEBEC certified. Do not leave out the dash or the capitalization. Unless it is possessive use for something with WEBEC owns, you don't add the apostrophe. So these are just ways we want to make sure that grammar, which I'm not doing real good at right now, and how you refer to yourself and what you're doing, the WEBEC seal versus the WBE logo, women-owned logo, just these are things that are the do's and don'ts that they want us to be unified. So I'm sure you'll have access to this slide. So when you're starting to write, you know, when you're writing things out, when you're talking, how to use it properly. And right now, if I mess up, I'm doing it on purpose, so you know this is what you don't do. How about that? Okay. Next slide, please. Now, the WEBEC link. This is where you want to go to find everything that you need to know as far as who's the corporates. I can tell you, though, however, you will not find anywhere a complete list of the WBEs. All right, there's just too many. The staff is too short staffed to keep that up to date. So instead of having something outdated, because as you know, we get certified each year, recertified, but use the link, go out to the website, maneuver your way through it. You can see the corporations that are part, but you will not find a full list of WBEs. That's one of the questions that I know we get a lot. And I can tell you now, there is no place where you will find that. How you're going to figure that out is that you have to come out, you have to network, and then you can figure out who your sisters are and find us there. But there, unfortunately, is not one complete database that will list all of the WBEs. Okay. But use WeBank link to go out there so you can see the corporate and government members. The WBENC WeBank provides both women business enterprise certification and women owned small business, the WOSB certification. The difference with these certifications, basically, is the government space, okay, the SBA. And I think on another slide, but you don't have to switch that. Angela, unless it's probably on there, we can switch it. The WOSB, when you when you applied to get certified with ORV, you could check a box and you could be woman owned small business. This is recognized on the federal level. So that's just the difference with the certification there. The WOSB is woman owned small business, but that's letting you know that that's the federal level. Next slide. Recertification. Of course, you got some of you already just got certified a week ago. Keep all your documentation, okay? Because you have to go through it each and every year. It is painless, I will say, when you do the recertification process now. But it's an annual touch point for all WBEs. Plan ahead, know your expiration date because you will expire, and allow 3 months ahead of time to get your certification going. Um, Capture any changes in your ownership, your management. So basically, as now that you're certified, you want to make sure that you're keeping everything up to date as far as your management. If you're moving, if you have a new location, there are just different things that you need to make sure that you're keeping track of. And again, make sure you know your recertification date and start your recertification application. At least I always do 3 months out. Okay. I give them 90 days that I start and get it in so that nothing lapses. Because if your certification lapse and it's in the middle of a project or you're trying to get a project award, if you're being awarded that project because someone needs your certification, it will lapse, and then you're gonna have to jump through all kind of hoops to get that recertification back in place. So, next slide. Regional. ORV, as I said, is a 501(c) that serves as one of the 14 regional partner organizations, or RPO, is what you'll hear. WeBack ORV has over 1,100 certified WBEs and 80 corporate members. Now, what does that mean as far as with the corporate members? One thing I want to point out here, the 1,100 certified WBEs are in the Ohio River Valley, but again, there's over 20,000 certified WBEs all across the United States. The 80 corporate members, you can be a corporate member with our RPO and not necessarily a corporate member with the national. So recognize that just because they're corporate members in this RPO, they may not be a national corporate member. And it gets a little sketchy sometimes. So just understand that the RPO really is a standalone organization that feeds into the national organization. So you may have regional partners in the corporate entity within Ohio River Valley, but then because you have access across the other 14 RPOs, that particular corporate member may not be a national member. So, if you're trying to play in a space, and I'll just throw out Coca-Cola is a national member or whatever the case may be. Let's say Centos, since we're here in Ohio, I guess most of us are. Centos may be a corporate member here locally, but when you go out nationally, they may not be for that particular region. So just know that difference. Understand that the corporate members can be, we have our own, and some of them feed on a national level, but that's not necessarily the case. And again, the mission with WeBack RRV is leading through an innovative, collaborative, and engaged group of corporates, government, WBEs, and advocates. We are a catalyst for growth and sustainability by adding more corporate partners in WBEs in Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia region. The vision is to be the premier resource for women-owned business development, and I can definitely attest to the fact that WeBack ORV lives up to their mission and vision. They are constantly trying to add partners on the corporate level, and as they're saying, government levels. And of course, we have over 1,100 sisters in Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. And we do advocate and make it so that we want to grow our business and develop a sustainable business practice and take our businesses to the next level. In the next slide. So again, these are just going back to tips for your annual renewal. Collect your documents needed and pay the fee, because nothing gets processed without the fee, and we're all in business to make money. And so even though our regional partner is a 501(c), they need money to operate, and it is a small price to pay for the access that is given to us by being a WBE. The 90-day process, make sure again, they'll send out, like they said, automated updates about 120 days out to say your certification is about to expire. Do not ignore them. The sooner you get it in, the better. Don't wait to the last minute, and mark your own calendars. Don't rely on the automated reminders as well. Make sure you set your own reminders. Check your emails and systems regularly. ORV is very good at keeping us in the loop. And Angela, you please help me out with that. But I know when you guys got certified, you needed to check a box that says, give me the notifications. If you don't,
That is correct.
Okay, great. Thank you. If you don't check that box, you're not going to get all these wonderful notifications. And so now that you've been certified for a week, if you don't see anything coming through, I would at least say something every 2 weeks, and that's a minimum. You know, it seems like maybe every other day or whatever the case may be. They keep us informed, but they can only keep us informed if you check that box. So if you don't see an email coming through, especially with the events that are coming up, you know, contact the office, contact someone that you know, contact whoever. Don't sit there and be quiet, be proactive, because this is our organization and you're only going to get out of as much as you want to put in. And don't sit back. As business owners, we never sit back. So don't say, hey, they didn't send me anything. Ask them, are you sending me something? You know, I didn't see it. Should I be getting something? Let your voice be heard. So that's the engage and leverage. Again, be engaged with the organization, attend events, volunteer online. Volunteering is the best way to get involved. I will say that, because then you're out there, you're saying, hey, I'm here, I want to learn as much as I can. So definitely volunteer, attend events, and that's not on this slide, but you also can be strategic. You know, if it's events that are happening and it may not be pertinent to your business, but maybe a corporation is there that you want to do business with, and they're talking about something that has nothing to do with your business. But if you're at that event, you're leveraging that, you're getting the touch points, you're allowing them to see you and say, hey, I am here. And that's the way that you can get a smaller audience to get to the people that you do need to get to, even if they're talking about, you know, how many of you would sign up for a webinar in steel? Probably not a lot. Alexis may, but probably not a lot of other people. But hey, I get to talk with. I'm going to be there talking with Toyota, you know, but I want to do Toyota. Toyota buys everything, so I'm going to go to that webinar, even though they're talking about steel, and I don't have anything to do with steel, but I know that I can leverage talking with Toyota about something else. So I'm going off track. It is recorded. We'll edit this recording before it goes off, but they'll never ask me to do this again, and that's okay. My feelings won't be hurt. So I went off on a tangent, but the bottom of the line, get engaged. Next slide, please. Okay, opportunities. Catch the Wave is the regional conference. It provides network, training, and access to certified WBEs and corporate members within our RPO. This conference draws over 500 attendees and includes workshops, awards, and meet the buyer and event. You must attend Catch the Wave. If you have not registered for Catch the Wave already, register for Catch the Wave. And to put it on a bigger picture, there is a national conference. Each RPO, I believe each RPO does their own conference, but I do know Ohio River Valley. Catch the Wave is our conference. And like I said, there's over 1,100 of us in this region, and it's attended by over half of the women. This conference will get your feet wet. Getting you ready for national, it is impactful. It allows you to connect with the other WBEs in our region. It is worth the time and energy to be there. It is an exciting time. You walk away with a wealth of information. And again, it allows you to know, how do I get involved? What is my RPO about? And it sets you up for regional, which is, if you've never attended the national conference, I'm sorry, you must do that. You've got to
And
do that.
Barb, I'd like to interject for just 1 second to let the ladies know that this year's Catch the Wave Conference will be in Cincinnati, August the 26th through the 28th. And it will be held at the Hilton Hotel downtown. You can look on our website. There's information out there right now about the Catch the Wave Conference and registering. So we hope you ladies will attend, and we look forward to seeing you all there.
And thank you very much, Angela. I was trying to cheat and figure out the dates. It's on my calendar, but I couldn't tell them. I was like, I should know when the dates are. I am registered. So get
So
ready.
I just want to make sure that they were aware of the dates so that they
Oh,
can, we're
absolutely.
hopefully looking
Thank
forward to
you,
seeing all the
Angela.
new WBEs there.
If you could have seen me on this end, I'm sitting there using my other screen, like, what day is Catch the Wave? So perfect. Tag team. Okay. Y'all got that?
Okay.
Catch the Wave right here in Cincinnati. Be there. There is no excuse not to be there. Okay. I'm just saying that, unless you're out of town or whatever, be there for all of it, or at least a part of it, but get registered, get your feet wet. It's right here. You will not be disappointed. Can't stress that enough. This is our signature event, and we have the best RPO, and they knock it out the park. The other part
One
about
last thing to say for on my part, Barb, if you don't mind. Ladies, it's also an excellent opportunity for networking with other WBEs like Barb.
well, you might not want to network with me after the thing, but other WBs, they got their act together. That's
Thank you, Barb. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, thank you, Angela. Continue to jump in, please. The other opportunity is the ORV BDP, which stands for Business Development Program. And it is a comprehensive 7-month business development program designed for women business owners who are building sustainable and scalable businesses, modeled after the Kaufman Fast Track Growth Venture Program, and hosted in partnership with corporations such as P&G, Bath and Body Works, Marathon, Fifth Third Bank, to name a few. The course is guided by certified facilitators and includes subject matter experts. The highly selective program is limited to 10 participants per class. I am going to speak to this and say this is a must do. This is a must do. This program spent off of the Urban League's African American Business Development Program, which I went through that. I'm going to share with you guys that now the ORV BDP is because of me. Okay. In that, when I went through the African American Business Development Program, there was 10 members. I was the only female. I was there with 9 males. P&G, who is one of the sponsors of this event now, Sheila Mixon, who used to run this region. This was her and Rhea Walden's baby. They birthed this. They invited P&G because they were looking for sponsors for this, to do it on the women's side. And because I was the only female with the group of men in that class, the next year P&G birthed this to say, yes, we would be a sponsor, and ORV BDP was born. So I haven't went through the ORV BDP, and I was a little salty because I see all the women, because I know what it's like to be in class. That is it's a sisterhood within the sisterhood. I had a bunch of men. But so I look at all the fun that the ladies are having now, but the class itself is the same. It's just women. And so it's building on that sisterhood, and you have the touch point with the corporations that they are part of. You'll have classes in their facilities. Sometimes they come in to speak. So again, and it is invaluable. What you learn through the ORV BDP course is invaluable for your business. And I would say at any level, they take you through everything from, of course, your pitch is number one, and then financial literacy, the SMART goals, how are you going to grow your business? And again, the touch point with the corporations. I would highly recommend that when you are able to apply for this, that you do it. It is a must do. The Kaufman track is an excellent learning track. Um, and the classes and the camaraderie and the sisterhood is just built while you're learning, because even though our businesses may be different, we share the same challenges. And so it's good to have that unofficial advisory board is what I call, my class, that you're bouncing ideas off of each other. Okay, and next slide. Okay, and the resources, I think we sort of hit on everything here. Of course, WeBank Link 2.0, the Women Owned is a campaign bringing consumer recognition to women-owned businesses. The WeBank programs support business development and provide fuel for success. The calendar, which is on the website there, that you want to make sure, and again, check that box. And they're very good at keeping you informed of what's coming up. So make sure you're checking out the calendar and checking out your emails. And then Act Intentionally is a campaign to support corporations that support women-owned businesses. So these are all resources that are there for us to be utilized to grow our businesses and to grow our network. Next slide. Okay, so you also get to unlock countless opportunities. Now, the ones, the professional development, networking, and outreach. Again, remember, there are over 20,000 WBE certified all across the United States. Our RPO feeds into the national RPO. And so you have things as We Thrive, We Ignite, the WB Energy Capstone. Bottom line, there is a wealth of knowledge and opportunity that is now at your fingertips by being certified. I ask you to go in, ask questions again with the emails that will come out. Look at the different programs. I've been through several of these myself, and never disappointed. Never disappointed with the opportunities that I get by attending, getting involved, meeting women all across the United States, strengthening relationship within the network, within the RPO, and then on the national level. So these are just the countless opportunities. Again, the webank.org, subscribe to get the newsletter of what's happening. And just like I said, they make it easy for you to get involved and to stay informed. Next slide. So the resources, apparently you can scan this RPO or scan this QR code and stay up to date on all things that have to deal with ORV. I haven't scanned the code yet, but I'm trusting, I'm old. I look at my emails, but I still find out what's happening. But you guys look young. Scan the code, check out the website. Amplify, empower, forward. That is the theme for the Catch the Wave. That is the theme. Amplify is the national theme. And so find out what that means for your business. Again, stay informed. There's newsletters, there's the monthly newsletters, there's the websites. So that's basically what this slide is saying. Stay informed. There are different ways to get informed. There's no reason for you not to know what's happening unless you're not out there, but please ask. Next slide. And engagement, get involved. Certification is like a gold pass, access to the world of benefits and opportunities. However, it does not guarantee a contract. But the more that you are engaged, the more opportunities you have to win contracts. If people do business with who they know, like, and trust, and so they need to be able to see you. They need to be able to see that you're out there. The more that you're involved, now you have over 1,100 advocates and really over 20,000, the possibility of 20,000 advocates. When you're engaged and involved, share your business, share your ass, talk to your sisters. And even if you might not be in the room, but if your sisters are in the room with someone and they can say, hey, I know that Nicole is IT. And I know that she wants to do business here. All of a sudden, you have advocates all over the place. So get engaged, share your business. Don't miss the opportunities to network with your sisters, because you never know where we're at and when an opportunity may come up, and then your business becomes first of mind for us to be able to say, you need to meet X, Y, and Z. I know a company that can provide this for you. So get involved, get engaged. And where do you start? Attending the events and the programs, sitting at tables with people that you don't know. When you go into a room, you always want to sort of go with your clique, branch out, sit somewhere where, um, that's where business happens. You may, be sitting at a table you don't know, and then you met that person, and that's somebody that you wanted to meet and didn't even know that you were with the same organization. That has happened endless times for me. So, get out of your comfort zone, post your virtual events and chats. Don't just focus on the corporations. Again, the WB to WB business is very powerful. Find ways to collaborate together. Amplify your executive education program and pitch competitions. Again, getting out there with the opportunities that are there, and volunteering and sponsoring programs and events. Get involved, get engaged. Next slide. Okay, and so other ways that you can get involved: honors, the WEBAC honors exceptional WBEs and corporate members at each of their signature events through individual awards, including the Applause Awards, Crystal Leadership Award, He's for She's, and more. The WBE Star, each year, each RPO recognizes a woman business leader to step in the spotlight. Sorry, Angela. We can go back.
I apologize for that, and I'm trying to go backwards, but if I hit it again, it's just going to advance forward. I am so sorry about
You're
that.
okay. So I'll just say, with the engagement, you have the star, and then the annual list of the America's top corporations. These are part of the awards that were on the previous side. And the legacy leaders is a group of corporate members and WBEs who serve in advisory capacity. So this year, for our region, Sheila Nixon is our trailblazer. Um, and I believe that's right. Yeah, Trailblazer. She's our Trailblazer Award winner. This goes to someone who sets an example of greatness, both in business and in their community. The winner is honored every year at a Catch the Wave conference. So Sheila is our Trailblazer. For those of you who don't know Sheila Mixon, again, she used to run this RPO. She is an entrepreneur, certified business women, certified WBE now, certified WBE, who recently got certified once she stopped. Sheila is truly a trailblazer. Um, the forum selects certified, they nominate, and the RPO is appointed. The forum members serve on business focused teams. This is the forum group, of which I am a forum member. And how did I become a forum member? Before I was a forum member, I just got engaged and involved with our local RPO. What's the benefit of being a formal forum member? Again, it gets you connected with the other RPOs on a national level, and a way to get more involved with the corporates is something that they pick you because they see you out there doing what it is that needs to happen to strengthen the RPO as a whole. And our 2024 star this year for RPO is Barb Smith, which didn't know I was going to get that. But again, that's when you're working within the RPO, you never know who's looking at you. And so this was an honor that floored me to have, and I'm happy to represent RPO this year, even though obviously doing this onboarding is not one of my fortes. And if they saw me do this ahead of time, I probably would not be the 2024 star. Next slide.
You would still be the 2024 star, Barb. You're a rock star. Thank you.
And the next slide. Hey, it went backwards, Angela. Okay. Okay. So attend the regional conference, sponsor and participate in the WB showcase, participate in the Meet the Buyer, and volunteer at the conference. So again, the Catch the Wave conference is August 26th to 28th. Meet the Buyer, and Angela, you can step in here, but basically Meet the Buyer is the opportunity to have that one-on-one conversation with the corporates that will be in attendance. in the past, and I'm not sure how the setup is, normally it's like speed dating. They'll all be in a room, you'll be able, and that's the way Angela's shaking her head. So it's a speed date.
That's correct.
So this is where you want to take advantage of having your 5 to 8 minutes. I'm not sure how long of a time. It's not a long amount of time. But what you want to do is do your homework. Know who's coming to catch the wave ahead of time. Go out on the website, see who will be attending, see who our corporate partners are with our RPO. Do your homework because it's going to be speed dating. So you want to come prepared. You want to make sure you have your elevator pitch down packed. You want to make sure that you're answering their problem. You don't want to meet the buyer and say, hey, what, how, what do you sell? What do you do? You don't want to do that. You want to go and say, hey, I was out on your website and I saw that you were doing X, Y, and Z, and I want to let you know that I offer, X, Y, and Z to the next level, and I would be able to work with you on this. Or I see that you are involved in this community activity. Are you aware that we're doing X, Y, and Z? You want to bring something to the table where your synergy of your company aligns with them, or you see a pain that your product or service can answer for them. Use the meet the buyer to meet them and capitalize on that opportunity to go in. If you already know that you have to be pre-qualified, make sure you're pre-qualified on their website or whatever the case may be before catch the wave, so that you can say, hey, I'm already in your portal and just want to be able to offer you this, that, or the other. I can tell you now, everybody's going electronic. It's always good to have your one-page capability statement, but also recognize a lot of them will not take the paper capability statement, but you can follow up with that. But you want to take this opportunity to get in front of the corporations that you want to do business with. And this is why it's also important to attend national, because a lot of those corporations do have a national footprint. And now you're getting to see them and catch the wave. Then you'll be able to see them in New Orleans in October, I think is when the national conference is. I know it's in New Orleans. And so you want to be able to see that touch point. So also volunteer at the conference, get involved, be at the conference, mark it down, and get registered. And I think that's our last slide. And so I can take questions, or Angela can take questions if there are any questions. You can go there.
And if you have any questions for Barb, you can feel free to put them in the chat if you don't want to come off the mic, off mute and say it.
I had a question. Sorry, I put it in the chat. But I was wondering where I could find more information about the business development program that you had mentioned, as far as where you register, what's the length, where are those sessions held, things like that.
Angela, can you?
Yes, you can go to our WEBEC WBEC ORV website and click on the ORV BDP programming, and you can also email me, and I can put you in contact with Kitiana Lowe. She's the person that handles all of our business development programming.
Okay,
so
great.
send me an email and I'll get you her information.
Okay,
and my email is aruff at WBECORV.org, and I will put you in contact with Kitiana. She can help you with that, assist you with that.
Great, thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Yeah, I had a question about meet the buyer meetings and how best to prepare for them. So Barb mentioned taking potentially a capability statement. Is it recommended to also take samples potentially with us?
Yes.
Barb, I don't know that they have let you show samples at the tables, because meet the buyers, you said, is almost like a speed dating thing where you get like 5 minutes at the table with each of the buyers. So you want to have your pitch nailed down, your product or service that you're offering nailed down. I don't know that they would, if you have small samples, maybe you could pass something along. But I don't know if it would be something significantly large.
What do you do? What's your company?
So it's a consumer packaged good. It's a food product. So it's a small product. So I would be able to
absolutely bring if you're carrying around your product and it's something like that. I normally don't carry around a bean with me, but if you have something that you can, hand them to show them, absolutely, this is your time that helps you stand out, and if it's definitely for something to eat, that always goes over real strong. But you can bring them. They may not always take them, but if it's a visual, yes, you can say, this is what I produced, da 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 da, blah blah blah, and everything like that, and how you can utilize it.
Got
So
it.
just it goes with your pitch,
Mhm.
but then you can say, here you go, here's a sample, da 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 da.
And I just signed up for the conference. Do we need to sign up for these buyer meetings in advance?
Angela, I'm not sure.
That's a Colleen. I would have to follow up with Colleen on how they sign up or register for Meet the Buyer. So do me a favor, the email that I gave for the earlier question, aruff@webecorv.org. If you email me that question, I will get that information from Colleen and I will follow up with you directly.
And I
Perfect.
know in the past, and like I said, I'm referring there to Angela, because in the past, sometimes, again, it's just the big room and it's dating, and you wait in line, you figure out where you want to go, the bell rings and you move on, so you don't have to register. But I'm not sure of the setup, but
Okay.
be prepared to just go into a room and, strategically wait in line, hit your, sit down, wait for the bell to ring and move on your speed.
I do know there are several tables set up, and so you're at a table for 5 minutes, you move to the next table for 5 minutes, the next table for 5 minutes. So she's right, it is absolutely like speed dating. So you possibly could get to speak to all of the potential buyers in the room. You'll just move from table to table. Every time you hear the bell ring, you move to the next table.
Wow. Okay.
And I will say this, when you go in to catch the wave and you specifically know that you want to see someone, be strategic in the session. If they're in a session, if they're one of the presenters, go sit in on their session before the meet the buyer. Make your introduction there. So again, they're going to see you. So by the time you're meeting the buyer, you've had more than 5 minutes. You're able to nail it down and, and hone everything. That's what I said, be strategic. And I don't care if they're talking about, widgets or whatever the case may be. If that's somebody you want to meet, get in that room, because then there's less people in there, and then you make a beeline to them, make the introduction. Basically, it's polite stalking. That's what you want to do at conferences. You want to stalk the people you want to get business with. You don't want to scare them off, but you just happen to be in their session. You just happen to, be here, and you continue.
I love it.
Polite stalking, because people, you don't want to be creepy, but you want to make sure that they're seeing you. There's over 500 women there. There's thousands at national. You want to make sure that they're remembering and be rememberable. Come up with have a conversation. If you're sitting at the table, when you're following up, hey, I sat at the table with breakfast. I'm the one that almost spilled the juice on you, but didn't, whatever. You want to make yourself memorable, because there are a lot of folks that are after the same, going, and there's one of you, it's only one of them. We're going to remember them, but make sure that they remember you. Take full advantage. Stalk them. Nicely stalking, but stalk them.
Okay, are there any other questions? Yes.
Well, hi, I'm Catherine Werner, and Barb, I think you should just keep doing these. I think that was like super advice for everyone. It wasn't a question, but I was like, yes, okay, this is great. Thanks so much, though, for taking the time. I mean, we're all new. I do have a question. Have you done the Pitch Academy, or do you know? It seems good. I sat in on one class. There's another one actually starting at noon Eastern today. But I just wondered if you might talk a little bit about that, because it looks pretty unique and interesting and cool.
I am attending one at 12. I haven't done the Pitch Academy. I did pitch, and I would recommend, if you ladies have not, I don't know if the cutoff is already. I pitched to Catch the Wave. I pretty much pitch to Catch the Wave every year. I was fortunate enough to go to national last year and win $10,000 for the mission. So I am attending the one at 12. Now, we put on one, we being our RPO, we put on one for pitching, because myself and the other two ladies that were first, second, and third with Catch the Wave last year, We just sort of did a quick, tips and tricks on how to pitch. But I am attending 12 o'clock. I haven't attended those yet, so I am looking forward to it as well. But highly would recommend you always, whether you're on the stage or not, we have to have a pitch. You have to be able to succinctly be able to introduce yourself and your business, in that elevator, when you're politely stalking those people that you happen to get on the elevator with. You want to be able to have that pitch down pat. And so I am attending that. I have not attended it yet, Catherine, but yes, I'm attending because I'm interested to see. Because even though I've been pitching and will continue to pitch and have been successful, thanks be to God, and actually won some money, I want to get tips and tricks on how do I hone it, how do I make it better, and because it depends on the audience. And as long as we're business owners, we're going to always have to pitch.
No, thanks very much. No, I appreciate that. I wish I could attend the conference. It's great to meet you all here virtually. I've got one obligation. I saw the dates lined up. I was like, next year. Okay.
Next year. Yeah. But
right.
attend the events. There'll be more events,
Okay.
even if you can't make the Catch the Wave. And like I said, I would highly recommend you all try to make it to nationals as well. Even if your business doesn't have a national footprint, that's an experience that I would highly recommend that every woman take an opportunity to do that. It's off the chain, exciting, a wealth of information. And again, doing business with other WBs. It's really, the first time I went, it was phenomenal.
Thank you.
It is expensive, so I understand if you got to definitely go with a game plan. It's an expensive trip just to network, but if it's in your budget and you can do it, and if your business really can do business nationally, I would highly recommend it.
Okay, ladies, so if there are no other questions, I am going to free Ms. Barb up, and I really do want to thank and tell her how much we appreciate our WBE 24 star. Thank you so much for conducting this session for us. This session, by the way, is being recorded, so if you would like to have a copy of it later on, there will be a copy sent out of this recording.
Yeah.
With that being said, I'd like to wish all of you ladies a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you guys for
Thank
bearing with
you.
me.
All right, you
I
all
didn't
have
get
a
the
good
slide deck
day.
till this morning. I'm
you.
gonna put my